All right. What's up, team? Get a little stream in today. As we all eagerly wait for point 11, Cyber Dragon's been trying to do, well, he hasn't tried, he's done it. Made a random array of numbers that don't duplicate. And he did it with gravity and funneling balls into like a tunnel. And today he did it again with like stacking number pads on top of each other. And I just wanted to give an attempt of keeping everything in the rules. I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like or if it'll work. But yeah, I'm going to spend a little time doing that today. So welcome in. I hope you're having an amazing day. And let's see if I can do a random array of numbers that don't duplicate and keep it all in the rules. So let's try to, what can I use here? Actually, I can just use these bad boys. Blue tulips, 61 assets and 1. The purple one. Actually, we'll just keep them up like this. GM Wapax, good to see you in chat. Thanks for dropping in. It's good to see ya. So the first one here is going to be toggled on, and that'll get toggled off with you could do this with like questions or cards, dealing cards or dealing stuff or whatever. So what word should I use? Second deal, the deal. Gets turned off with deal 2. I'm doing good, Wapax. Thanks for asking. Today, just to do a little stream, we are definitely building for BC3. This isn't that, though. Cyber Dragon's been doing an array, trying to build an array of RNGs that don't duplicate, and I just wanted to take a swing at it with keeping it all in the rules instead of using mechanics on the map. So I don't know what that's going to look like or if it's going to work, but I just wanted to take a swing at it. Because Cyber Dragons had some really cool mechanics where he funneled, like used gravity to funnel like spheres and stuff or whatever down into a tube. And then today he was doing another one where he like spawned number pads on top of each other to create the order. So that's what I'm going to do today and try to keep it all in the rules. So this is going to be an animated asset. It's going to start, we can have it start on a question mark, that's fine. And so let's just do numbers. Number 1, false. Play message. Let's just use the number 1. Interruptible, true. Yeah, I feel you. Wallpacks, I'd be itching to build if I couldn't build. I hope it's a speedy recovery. How long have you been waiting? So animated assets get a little bogged down, so maybe we'll stop at like 5. False. It'd be cool if you could duplicate the animations within an animated decoration. So, looking good. Whoa. We're going off into space. Been waiting for a week. Well, you still got a little time, I think. Cyberjagged on a stream today anticipated, I think he said, a week to 2 weeks for the next GameMaker to come out. So Buenos dias, Roxy Miguel. ¿Cómo estás? Animated decorations really get bogged down, so I might stop at 5 here. Or what I could do is duplicate this and then lighten the load. And just have 2 of these sitting on top of each other. All right, so this is interruptible. All right, 5 numbers is probably good for a prototype. And if we get something working, we can make it more. I'm not quite sure what the off message is going to be yet. I can use it be that probably. All right, hopefully this works. So let's do 5. So this will turn on with, initially it's off. Turn on with deal 2. Turn off with deal 3. Deal 3. How is this program called? You mean what is this program called? It's called GameMaker. You can get it on Sandbox.game website. CyberDragon's, those last couple streams, he's been trying to build arrays of RNG that don't duplicate so that you can play card games or have non-repeating questions that you set up. And so I just wanted to try to build a system that stayed in the rules. So that's what we're doing today. Oops. So I'm going to give myself a button that's going to send the message deal to the rules. You can deal once every like 2 seconds, I guess, just to slow it down a little bit in case somebody feels like mashing. So I want number 1 through 5 to get built into an array in the rules and not to duplicate. So how do I do that? What's up, Nazman? GM to you as well. Thanks for dropping into chat. It's good to see you. So when we load up, we want to when the game loads up, that's when we want to decide the order. So it can be a number between 1 and 5, and then it can't be the one it already chose. And I want to keep it all in the rules. I'm actually going to be right back. I'm going to take a quick break and fill my coffee cup. Give me 1 minute. Maybe 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. So I'm thinking of this as just working as a single player game right now, but first we need to roll all the numbers and set the array up. So just for a prototype here, on player join, we're going to give ourselves a HUD. And with HUD, we're going to give ourselves an actual HUD where we can keep track of stuff. And then we're also going to start, we'll say, create a global integer RNG Array builder. I don't know, something like that. What's up, Kay? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping into chat. So we're going to start it off by rolling a 1 to 5. Check this, and then we're going to go RNG Array check. So we're going to need a true false for each one. You could also use integers, but true false is just easier because you can use true false if else. And so let's call this one number 1 true false. They're all going to start false. So today, what am I doing? Cyberdragon's been trying to build, well, he hasn't been trying, he's been doing it successfully. Build an array of random numbers that don't duplicate for various reasons. Like you could play card games with them. You could create a list of questions, for example. I could see it working in Pickaxe Master where like we don't want the resources to duplicate. Like we want one of every resource to get dropped out there and don't want them to duplicate. So I could see us using it something like that. And Cyberdragon's been using mechanical things on the map to make it work, and I just wanted to see if I could keep it in the rules. So that's what we're trying today. I don't know what it's going to look like or if it's going to work, but we're starting to formulate it. What I would have to do to make it work. So we've got true falses here. But before we get to those, also I'm going to need another one of these where we'll put a different message here like RNG Array. Okay. Okay, so we're going to check this, and if it's equal to 1, we're going to say number 1 check. duplicate it. 2. We're going to do this for all 5 of them. We're just going to start with 5 to test the prototype out. But yeah, you could see that if you wanted to do 52 different cards, it's a lot of logic. I think the rules would be able to handle it, but not only do you have to do all of the rules, but you also have to make sure all of it works on the game board. So a 52 card game would be no joke. But if you got yourself like 12, 13, 10, 15 things, I can see that being pretty easy. Okay, so somebody joins in and we start the rolling. You get a 1 to a 5, and then it says number 1 check through number 5 check. Cool. Then I think we can go into if-else statements. Let's put it down below. So number 1 check. We're going to check number 1 true false. Number 1 set. Something like that. And if it's true, then we have to go back into the roll. RNG Array roll. We got to keep rolling until we find one that isn't, that we got to keep rolling until we find that is false. So let's get all these messages set. Okay, so this is going to do a couple things. It has to do a couple things for us. Once it sets a number, it has to toggle off the first one. It has to set the first number of the array. And it has to set this to true. So let's go underneath. And the first thing I'm going to do is set a number value. Or actually, no. Set a true false value. So number 1 set. Just going to grab number 1 and set it to true. So we need another 5 here. We need another 5 numbers here so we can set the number in the array. Let's call this array 1. Array 2. Array 3. Array 4. Array 5. Duckies and pizzas and hearts and pickaxes back to you, Wicked You. It's good to see you in chat. Thanks for dropping in. Hope everybody out there is having an amazing day. So if we get a number 1 set, we're going to set that to that. And we also need to do something like the array setter. And I'm just not really good at starting with 0, but I'm going to try. Okay. So next we need compare numbers. So if the message number 1 set pops out, we need to check the array setter number. If it's equal to 0, then we're going to say array array 1 set 1. I should just start with 0 out there so I don't confuse myself. But I need to learn. If the array setter is equal to 1, then we're going to say array 2 set 1. If the array setter is equal to 3, then we're going to say array 3. So the third number in the array gets set to 1. Or I mean the second number, because we start... Yeah, the third number. If it's equal to 3, then the fourth number in the array gets set to 1. These are what these messages mean in my head. And if the array setter is equal to 4, then we are going to set the fifth number in the array to 1. Array 5 set 1. So all of these messages need to funnel into something that adds 1 to our array setter. So we can send message here and go array 1 set 1. It's going to be deal check. Maybe. As long as you remember how to use your messages, naming messages can be pretty difficult for them to make sense later. But I went with the message deal check. So if we get any of these messages, they're going to funnel into the message deal check. All right, so what does deal check do? So with deal check, we need to do math. First of all. And so we're going to take the array setter and add 1 to it. Actually, I don't like this message for this. Let's change this message to the array check. Because we're still just setting the numbers automatically. We're not pushing a button yet. Array check. Add 1. And then we can, this message can go back to RNG Array role. And then while we're testing, here, I like to keep an eye on all this stuff. So the only thing I'm not looking at right now is the RNG that rolls over and over. All right, let's give this a save before I lose it. Actually, this needs to do a check because once we get to too high of a number, it needs to stop rolling. I don't want it to just keep rolling forever. So RNG array roll check. We're gonna compare numbers. So this is the array roll check. And if the array setter is less than five. We'll say shuffle finished. Wait, no, this is where you keep rolling, sorry. And if it's greater than or equal to 5, that's the shuffle finished. Okay, I think that's pretty solid. Just have to do this one for every single number. Which will just take a minute here, or a couple minutes. So this is going to be number 2 set. Change it to the number 2 variable. So this would be array 1 set 2. Array 2 set 2. Array 3 set 2. Array 4 set 2. Array 5 set 2. Just do that again. 1 set 2. 2 set 2. 3 set 2. 4 set 2. 5 set 2. And then everything should just work. Should keep funneling through here. I can give it one test, I think, quick. The system didn't start. All right, so I say when you join, we're going to do HUD. That also should roll the first number for us. So RNG array check will pop in here. I guess it might not work if I don't have everything done. Only if I roll a 1 and a 2. I think the logic is sound. I'll just finish this quick. So this would be array 1 set 3. Array 1 set, or whoops, array 2 set 3. Array 3 set 3. Actually, I didn't set these up to anything. Five set 3. So yeah, I gotta do all that too first. Two set 3. 3 set 3. 4 set 3. 5 set 3. Number 4 set. So if we get this one, we'll turn 4 to true. 4 set. Change all these to number 4 set. Array 1 set 4. Array 2 set 4. Array 3 set 4. Array 4 set 4. Array 5 set 4. So 1 set 4. 2 set 4. 3 set 4. 4 set 4. 5 set 4. All right, I just have one more of these to do. number 5 set. Array 1 set 5. Array 2 set 5. Array 3 set 5. Array 4 set 5. Array 5 set 5. Perfect. 1 set 5. 2 set 5. 3 set 5. 4 set 5. 5 set 5. All right, I'm going to give this a save. So something I still need to do is actually set the number, so that when we're going back and dealing, it'll know which numbers to deal. All right, so let's actually just start a new set of rules next to this and say we're going to set a number value. So let's say array 1. So there's 5 different array 1 messages. Array 1 set 1 will change array. Should change it to 0. I'm going to confuse the shit out of myself. One set 2. 2 is 1. 1 set 3 sets it to 2. 1 set 4 changes it to 3. 1 set 5 changes it to 4. All right, so I can duplicate this group of rules, and these are going to be the second number in the array. So 2 set 1 would be 0. 2 set 2 would be 1, and so on and so forth. 2 set 3. 2 set 4. 2 set 5. To do this 3 more times. Array 3. This is the third number in the array. So if we get 3 set 1, then we're going to set it to 0. Set 3. 3 set 4. 3 set 5. 2 more. 4 set 1. So this is the fourth number in the array. Set 2. If you're wondering what I'm doing, CyberDragon, the last few times he streamed, he's been trying to set up an array. Well, he hasn't been trying, he's actually been doing it. Setting up a system that will give you an array of random numbers that don't repeat for card games, or why does this say 2? For card games or other stuff. Like asking questions in a quiz that don't repeat. And he's come up with a couple systems, and I just wanted to challenge myself and see if I could keep it in the rules. So that's what we're doing today. 0, 2. These just got out of order. Alright, so are we doing good here? This is the 5th number in the array. Five set 1. 5 set 2. 5 set 3. 5 set 4. 5 set 5. It'd be cool if this worked. Three, 4, 2, 0, 1. Why did it set it to 0? We were just missing 5 there. Oh, I see what I'm doing. So this is supposed to be the actual number. One, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no, that was right. I always confuse myself. Whatever, I'm just going to keep it like this so I don't get confused again. I did do it right. But I just always get so confused. My brain doesn't count 0 as 1. So yeah, I think it's pretty much good. Now I just have to create the system where when you push this poll, it'll deal the right number as you push the button. It'll do this one in the first array, and then it'll do the second. So when we load up the game, what it's doing is loading the array, and then we need to build in a system to read the array. So you can see we got all the random numbers down at there at the bottom, and none of them repeated. Also, I'm going to go ahead and throw the RNG on the top of the display to make sure that it stops rolling. You can also see what it's doing while it's attempting to roll. And yeah, if anybody's ever interested in my logic, if I'm doing something like this, I can always just send you this for learning purposes, or if you want to use it in a build, I would be very happy to just send you this if it works. You could continue to build on more numbers and just use what I have started as a guide if you want to have more numbers. Takes a while for the HUD to pop up, but you can see it's rolling up there, and it stopped rolling. We have 3, 2, 4, 1, 5. So yeah, I think it's working absolutely perfect. Let's do it one more time. Give me some time to drink my coffee while it loads. Five, 2, 3, 1, 4. We have any repeats. It stops rolling. So yeah, perfection. Mwah! Chef's kiss. All right, so how do we build the system where we actually deal the cards? I'm going to reload this so it goes faster. So I put this poll in, and I put these animated decorations in from Blue Tulip, the 61 assets M1, and I have them all set up so they can deal a number between 1 and 5. And they're set up so as one toggles off, the next one will toggle on. So we're going to want to use the same messages over and over as I push the button. And so this system can be adapted into many different things, whatever you have the idea for your game. But yeah, this is just the prototype build where we're testing to see if the logic is sound. So I have this button here that will send deal. And then I have these 5 animated decorations where the first one is the only one that's toggled on at the moment. And it gets toggled off with deal 2, and the next one will get toggled on with deal 2. All right. So let's do the dealing logic, I guess, right here up on top. I don't think it'll be too complicated. I just haven't thought all the way through it yet. So let's create actually, what variable? The array setter. Let's create a new number variable called the array place. So this is where I'm at in the array. I think makes sense, hopefully. And so we're going to do a comparison, compare numbers. So to make sure that, first of all, to make sure that I can't start dealing until the shuffling's done, I'm going to say deal because that's the message that's coming in from the poll when we push the button. So deal if the array setter is greater than or equal to 5, then we're going to do the deal check, which I decided not to use before because I wanted to use it here. And if it's less than 5, this will be a player needed message because you'll be pushing a button. So I can say deal shuffling, something like that. This could be a problem if we do a lot more than 5. It seems to get done with 5 fairly quickly. But if we're trying to like shuffle 15 and we can't hit the RNG system, just can't seem to hit a number, it could take a little longer for the array to be built. So deal shuffling. If I get deal shuffling, we're just going to do like a banner, I guess. Deal shuffling. The only thing you need to be on a lookout for banners and pop-ups is you do need a player need a message for them to work. So I usually just make a blank text variable called the banner, so I can reuse it with everything, and I just use the title. So shuffling, please wait. So I'll try to get that before it's done shuffling to see if I can get it to pop up. Otherwise, when we do the deal check, I'm just going to bring this down here so I don't play with the top. All right. So let's compare numbers. If we get deal check, and the array place is equal to 0, send out the message array1 deal. Okay, so you might have to build a little system for this too, for the message to come out. If it's equal to 1, array2 deal. Equal to 2, array3 deal. If it's equal to 3, array4 deal. And if it's equal to 4, array5 deal. And then if it's equal to or greater than 5, deal finished. Something like that. And so deal finished. There are no more cards. So if we get array 1 deal, array 1 deal. So we also need to do a comparison. When we hear array 1 deal, we're going to go ahead and check what our array 1 number is. And so, yeah, over here I changed it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I'd know what was going on. Yeah. Just messing with myself right now. So if array 1's equal to 1, then we're going to send number 1. If it's equal to 2, we're going to say number 2. Is that what I did? Yeah, because I said set up here. Okay, so I can use these numbers for the animations, which I think I said already. 3, number 3. 4, number 4. We got about 40 minutes left in the stream. I think I'll be done with it. Number 5. And then so I need to funnel these numbers at least one time and do a single message. So let's use this send message rule, which is one of my favorite rules of all time. It's very helpful. And we're going to say number 1. Let's say that this is deal next. We'll make up a message called deal next. Number 2 is going to deal next. And number 3 will deal next. Number 4 will deal next. Number 5 will deal next. So what does deal next do? That's a good question. Deal next will have some sort of math where it says deal next So we're changing the array place. This is the place we are in the deal. We're going to add 1 to it. And that's the array place. And then we're going to do array place check. So we'll get this message and then it'll hit this and toggle it just in time. Just in time rules. Array place check. So now we're going to compare. We're going to do array place check. If it's equal to 1, then I think I said deal 2, right? If it's equal to 2, we'll say deal 3. So what this message is doing, it's toggling on the next animated decoration for me. Deal 4, 3, 4, deal 5. I might have added some extra steps here. Oh, actually, I don't think I did. So this is going to be looking at array 2 now. Array 2 deal. Array 2 deal. Array, array 2 deal. I'm going to give it a save before I lose all this. And then let me click on this to make sure. These ones are initially going to be, oops, toggled off. Perfect. All right, I just need to do this 3 more times. Two more times. This is the last time. And hopefully everything just works perfectly. All right, so I'm going to log in. I'm going to try to run up and hit this poll right away, and it should say we're still shuffling. If I can do it fast enough. Shuffling, please wait. Perfect. We got a 1, a 5, a 3, a 2, and a 4 on the bottom. So that's our array of 5 numbers that doesn't repeat. Now, if I push on this poll, we should get a 1 on the first. Now, if I push on the poll, we should get a 5 on the second. Then we should get a 3. Then we should get a 2. And then we should get a 4. And then it should say all the cards are dealt. Holy schmolies. I did it on my first try, everybody. Let's do it again. Hey, thanks for the ducky, Blue Tulip. It's good to see you in chat. Hope you're doing fantastic. So what did we do today? Cyber Dragon's on his stream he's been building an array of random numbers that don't duplicate so that he can have like some sort of card game or some sort of quiz that's random and questions don't repeat. There's a lot of things that you could build it into. And so I wanted to challenge myself and see if we could keep it all in the rules, which it looks like it's not too difficult to do, really. And if anybody's interested in this logic, well, I guess I can't send you the Blue Tulip 61 assets and 1. I would have to take those off and do something else. But we can figure something out and I can send you this logic. So you can see the array at the bottom that built 4, 2, 3, 1, 5. Numbers between 1 and 5 that didn't duplicate. And then we can deal those out as I push on the poll. Takes a little while because the button has a 2-second cooldown on it. And so these all are responding to the same numbers. They just get toggled off and on at different spots. 4, 2, 3, 1, 5. There are no more cards. So yeah, super successful. Yeah, those are Blue Tulips. The last game I built for myself called Echo Street, I used them a lot. They're very handy. They're awesome assets. I love them. Very useful. I use a lot of Blue Tulip assets in my game. Like the Rainbow Ball. It's a great asset. All right, well, I finished this with like 30 minutes to spare, so what else should we do? I can go through what's happening again here. What we did. So when I start the game, when we hear HUD, we start the roll. In a single player game, this is fine. In a multiplayer game, we're going to have to build something so only the first player starts the RNG. I don't think it'll matter so much when I toggle everything off in the array, but we could build something to reshuffle in our last 30 minutes. But yeah, generally what happens here is it's going to roll between 1 and 5. And so that's going to give us our 1 through 5 number checks. And it pops down here and it just checks to see if that number was rolled yet or not. So we came up with true false variables for each of our numbers. For however many numbers you're going to have in your array for this system, you need a true false one, and you need the array, what that number is going to be in the array. So you need a number variable for the array and a true false. So if it hasn't been set to true yet, it's going to go ahead and let us set that number. And it goes down and it checks to see which number of the array that we're on. It does that by using this array setter variable, which we add 1 to every time we get a true number. So it goes up by 1 every time we get a true number, and then when it gets greater than 5, we finish it. We don't keep rolling it. And then basically we do the same thing when we are dealing it. It's hard to explain everything that we did an hour and a half in a couple seconds, but then we go back and we're dealing it. We check the array setter. So what did I do here? So this is the number that comes in from the button. We're going to check the deal. So as we check it, if it's equal to 0, then we're going to do the first deal. And then so we send number 1 through number 5, depending on what the first one was set to with our system that loaded everything. And then these numbers all funnel into the deal next message. So deal next goes ahead and hits this math, which then adds 1 to the next array place variable. And so that way we can move on from one to the next to the next to the next while we're dealing. Makes perfect sense. I know. So what if we want to reshuffle? Let's do a reshuffling mechanic in the last 25 minutes. So this is deal, and actually let's just go ahead and put an indicator on this. Just 1 second, it's probably fine. So a button that says that this is the deal, and we'll say this is, let's just call it the shuffle, and we'll call it the shuffle, or like reset. We'll just call it shuffle. Okay, so what do we need to do if we shuffle? Let's go ahead and build shuffle underneath. So if we do shuffle, first thing we need to do is set everything back to where it started. So replace number values, set number values. And if we do shuffle, and then the RNG doesn't need to be reset because it's going to get rolled. But array 1 is going to get set to 0. I don't know if I need to set all this stuff to 0, but wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt anything. So we can see all of these start at 0, and we're going to put them back to 0. What else do I need to do? We need to set true false values back to false. So if I get shuffle, then we're going to set all of these back to false. And these aren't very good names for these variables because it's actually the array, not the number. So let's just do that quick. Array 1 true false. Array 2 true false. Array 3 true false. Oops. Array 4. And array 5 true false. All right. So after that, there's no way to send a message after setting stuff. So I'm going to add myself a, whoops, not a text. I'm going to set my, or I'm going to create myself a time variable called shuffle wait. Something like that. And I'm going to create a timer. So if we get shuffle, then I want to grab the shuffle wait. I want it to wait 1 second to give everything a chance to set its new variable back to the start. And then I'm going to send RNG, what was it? The RNG array roll. Also, if we get shuffle, actually, I think I can do that with the word shuffle. Let's give it a save. So I'm going to make sure this button is going to all. Because shuffle Shuffle is going to turn this back on. And this is going to take me a minute because animated decorations get pretty slow when there's a few animations on them. But I also need to change this back to the question mark when we get the shuffle. So yeah, this logic isn't too bad if there's only 5 numbers, but that's my question. If you're going to do 52 different cards, then it's going to be a lot of logic in the rules. Infinite loop false. So yeah, it'll probably take the rest of the time just to mess with these animated decorations. So these are all going to turn off with shuffle. And then unfortunately I have to add all of these animations one at a time. It might be faster just to duplicate this. Change the toggle messages again. Something I do to wait till it responds is I gently scroll up and down, just waiting for it to respond. So when it's like that, I know it's done working. You can also put your mouse like over the gizmo, and if it's turning yellow, you can tell that it's stopped working. You can go ahead and start clicking. So if I go over the gizmo, you see it's not turning yellow because it's working. Now it's good. Now it's working. Being able to type in the animation to search for it, so nice. It's a very nice feature. So yeah, it takes a long time to add animations. I'm going to go ahead and reload and see if we can get the 3 animations done quicker. But yeah, we'll do one more test to see if shuffling works, and then I got about 10 minutes left on the stream for today. I really appreciate everybody hanging out, dropping in, chatting. Hope you're having an amazing day. And if you're not, I hope it gets better. So yeah, I could see this being some sort of game on the Pickaxe Master where it's like you have to pick your spot, and it could be something between a coal and a red diamond, and it doesn't repeat itself. I could see some sort of game like that. Using a non-repeating array. But yeah, if you're interested in something like this and you don't want to use the rules, the last 2 streams that Cyber Dragon has done on the Sandbox channel have been systems like this, but they used actual like mechanical systems with behaviors and components on the game board, and I wanted to see if I could keep it all in the rules. Which I think is very doable. Really not that difficult if you're going to keep the numbers down low, like around 5 or 10 or even 15. But yeah, if you want 52 different cards, I can see that being a lot. But, you know, in the new GameMaker, we're going to have pages, game board pages or whatever. So it might not be too bad. You just have to do the work. make up all the different messages. And I would be happy to send you this set of rules if you're interested. I can just send you the experience, your Sandbox username. All right, so we're going to go back to the question mark. That's interruptible when we hear shuffle. Only have 2 more left to do. But yeah, if you're dealing with lots of animated decorations, you want to try to have it right the first time so you can duplicate them all for sure. Going back and messing with them one by one is a pain in the butt. Not so bad when you only have a couple animations on them, but when you have a lot of animations on them at this time, they get pretty bogged down. Hopefully we see an improvement in 11. Interruptible. Plays on receive a message. That message is shuffle. And we're going to need the special question. Let's go. One more, baby. Yes. All right, grant me the patience to do this one more time, please. Back question. infinite loop off. Interruptible. I'll receive a message. Let's go. All right, hopefully that all works good. All right. So here we should have the foundation to get an array of random numbers, deal them, and then shuffle them. 2, 4, 3, 1, 5, no repeaters. And deal it. 4, 3, 1, 5. There are no more cards. Reshuffle. 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. I didn't set these back to. Oh, because I turned them off, I bet. Or they were off when they heard the message. 2, 4, that's the same. Should change it to 5. No, that's not right. Sometimes they get a little messed up. 4, 5, 3, 1. That didn't quite. Oh yeah, there it is. 2. See, it took a while to actually hit it. So first one should be a 4, but it got a 5. Sometimes these get messed up when you animate them a couple times, which isn't Blue Tulip's fault. One, 5, 2, 4. It almost works. The rules in the background are working perfectly. You can see the array on the bottom, 4, 1, 2, 5, 3. The mechanics of it on the game board aren't working the best. 4, 1, 2, 5, 3. Time it worked. But you can see everything turned false, so it starts rolling. 2, 3, 5, 1, 4. It's working perfect, really. All right. Well, I'm pretty happy with where we're at so far. 4, 5, 3, 1, 2. And then if you try to deal while it's still shuffling, we'll say, shuffling, please wait. 5, 2, 4. Something about the last one's hearing something. Hey, there we go. All right, perfect. All right. Good game today, team. Appreciate you hanging out. Hope everybody has an amazing day. You know where to find me if you want to chat about anything. Otherwise, maybe I'll stream tonight or be on the lookout for me around this time on weekdays. Much love, everybody. I'll talk to you later.